गुणातीतो अक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं मुच्यते भवबन्धनात्। श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवान की जय। अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज की जय। राधा कृष्ण देव की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज की जय। With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj, my heartiest namaskar, good evening, and Jai Swaminarayan to all the Gurujis present on the dais, especially Founder Sevak K.S. Chavra, the chairman of the session, Guruji Ji Narayana, Dr. Yogesh Patel, Shri Jagdish Bhai Thakkar, Nitesh, and my elders and friends coming for the session today. Namaskar. The session for today that we have come for, stress management in day-to-day life. Just at the start of the session, we saw the film on stress management, actually how stress starts, what effect it has on the human mind and the human life, and what end result stress can bring in our daily lives. It was a fine 8.5-minute video. So not elaborating much upon how stress generates, stress works, and to what level stress can bring results in your life. Yogesh Patel would be more a probable person than me to talk about. We all experience stress in our lives to some extent, on some of the other occasions. So when we have practically experienced stress in our lives, we did not go into the definitions of stress, but then all the said and kind about stress to some extent we have experienced on some occasion in our life. Yes or no?
Yes.
What is stress? How actually it works? What results can it give to your personal life? We just want to understand by a very simple case study. Let us have a case study where we compare the lives of two big singers. Let us compare Elvis Presley with Mirabai. A difficult comparison. Elvis Presley was a singer, Mirabai was also a singer. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Mirabai was never designated the queen of anything. When Elvis was just 21, there were more than 78 Presley products in the market. Mirabai had no product endorsed by her name during her lifetime. Elvis, when he used to travel from one place to another, there would be a cavalcade of limousines. And when Mirabai would travel from one mandir to another she would be walking barefoot. Elvis had 3 737 Boeings as his private jets. Mirabai didn't have a bullock cart. The limousines of Elvis Presley would be painted with crushed diamonds in it. Mirabai, she did not have a piece of diamond with her. During his own lifetime, Elvis's records were a world record sold, more than 500 million records sold. And there is no recording available of Mirabai in her own voice. When Elvis used to sing in the concert every day in the evening. At the peak of that concert, he would just open up his leather jacket and throw in the audience. And within seconds, the leather jacket would be torn into small pieces, everybody carrying a souvenir back home that yes, once upon a time I attended Elvis's concert. And Mirabai had nothing of that kind when she used to sit and sing in front of the Murti of Lord Krishna in the Bhakti Bihari Mandir. At that Bhakti Bihari Mandir, perhaps a few worshippers who would just pass by her would perhaps have heard her. Now the big question perhaps that would arise in your mind is, how could I start the comparison between Elvis Presley and Mirabai? No comparison. You can compare Sachin and Virat Kohli. You can't compare Sachin with any Ranji Trophy player. Elvis, his biographer Mindstone writes that he is the only second person in history to become famous by the first name, Elvis, after Jesus Christ. And no biography about Mirabai was written after her. Once when Elvis was composing his most famous song, How Great Thou Art, and his secretary said, "Sir, how are you feeling? You are at the peak of your career." Because at that time, at the age of 30, Elvis had self-earned more than $1,000 million at the age of 30. Perhaps the greatest entertainer the planet has ever seen. And Mirabai had to beg for food 2 times a day. When his secretary asked Elvis, "Sir, how are you feeling?" And Elvis said, "Alone." And Mirabai, discarded by her husband king, discarded by the kingdom, living alone, writes the bhajan, "Payo ji maine Ram Ratan Dhan payo." I am not alone, I have Ram with me. What created the difference? At the age of 33, in the month of August in 1976, Elvis committed suicide. At the age of 33, he took 40 sleeping pills one night and never woke up the next morning. But today, after 500 years, each and every bhajan of Mirabai is live to the extent that more than 250 people across India have done their MPhils and PhDs on some kirtan of Mirabai, and they are earning their livelihood. Elvis had to commit suicide, and today on each and every bhajan of Mirabai, people earn their livelihood. What created the difference? After all the fame, after all the money, after all the riches, why Elvis had to commit suicide at the age of 33? Should not be a question in life. What people strive for, right from 6 in the morning till late evenings. Elvis had everything. And what actually you consider as worth, as value, as fame, as riches, Mirabai had nothing. Yet she lived a life that is inspiration. Yet her works are an inspiration and a livelihood for many people. Elvis passed through tremendous stress and he committed suicide. We'll again touch on it a bit later. It's not that when you have everything in life you will not experience stress. It can come to you at any moment, at any time, at any phase of life. It can happen to anybody. We want to find the principal reasons why stress comes in life and the solutions to it. According to me, when all businessmen are sitting here, Let me tell you the principal reason that stress comes in your life is perhaps some percentage of unethical practice in your business. I'm not blaming anybody, and I'm not counting that everybody passes through this. But any unethical business, even to the smallest percentage, can someday generate stress in your life. And this is such, it spares nobody. The face of corporate India in the Western world. IIT Kharagpur graduate, MBA from Harvard, the whole and soul of McKinsey, director of Goldman. I'm talking of Rajat Gupta. Just 5 seconds of unethical practice, as the reports and the newspapers say. Today he is in jail for 2 years. Warren Buffett, one of the richest investors upon this earth, he proposed to Goldman for a $5 billion investment. The board of directors met in Moscow and they decided to have his investment. Rajat Gupta was on the board of directors. He had this information. He came out of the meeting and he said in the newspapers, as told in the US courts, that he called his close friend Rajaratnam, a Sri Lankan hedge fund manager. Just a 5-second phone call from Moscow to US. Perhaps the words, buy Goldman as much as you can. Because the next day announcements that Warren Buffett is investing $5 billion and Goldman is accepting it would make the shares of Goldman rise to unexpected levels. And it happened. Millions of dollars of shares purchased on the previous evening. And the next morning the announcements made. Prices of the shares went skyrocketing. These people, they sold it. And within 24 hours there was millions of dollars. You like those millions of dollars, isn't it? Any gain by shortcut you enjoy. But a shortcut is always stress-giving. It is a fundamental principle. See, you can't land on the Everest by a chopper and have your photograph printed on the first page of TOI. You have to go through the base camp. So it was tracked. One of the government attorneys, Preet Bharara in Manhattan, he's a particular person when it comes to insider trading. Jagdish Bhai knows when he's in the stock market what is insider trading. It's a big crime in the US. It happened. Here also. Rajaratnam is behind bars for 11 years. Rajat Gupta is behind bars for 2 years. That too after more than 20 heads of states, more than 100 international personalities writing personal letters to the US courts to decrease the sentencing of Rajat Gupta because of lot of philanthropic work that he had done all over the globe. He's in tremendous stress. And when he heard the sentencing in the courts, he could speak nothing. Just one line that was printed on the front page of TOI a few months back. My 40 years of corporate image has run down into drain in 5 seconds. Stress has this power to finish your life, but it gets generated. One of the principal reasons when the corporate people are sitting here is unethical practice. Even if the name of your company is Satyam, you don't have any right. You don't have any right to go for asatya practices. Now it's a rigorous imprisonment for 7.5 years. You will be in the dress of the prisoner, eating just khichdi in the evening. Simple hodgepodge. Tremendous stress. You can see his picture 10 years back and you can see his picture now. You can make the difference. Even a 5-year-old boy can make the difference. All the light has gone out of his life, of his family, of his business. See, even if you are the chairman of the Gujarat Electric Board, you are an executive engineer, you don't have the right to put your finger inside the plug. If you say that I'm an engineer since 40 years and I've distributed electricity all over the state, electricity knows me. I'm a 40-year engineer with this company. Electricity knows only human flesh. It doesn't know any human personality. Ethics is like electricity. It has the power to crush your 40-year career within seconds. And that's all the stress in your life. And then all the stress in your life. So don't go for unethical practice. As I said earlier, at the first attempt, it looks very sweet. You want to enjoy it. A good shortcut to success. A good shortcut from the audience to the dais. But within seconds, it can make a zero out of you being a hero. It has that power. So stress generates first from unethical practices some point of time, some year down the line in your career. So never go for it. I'm talking of very practical points. Never go for unethical practices. I suggest a book for all the corporates. I read just a few months back. It's written by one of the most powerful management gurus upon this earth who charges $100,000 US for 1 hour of talking. There is almost 1 lakh rupees for 1 minute of talk. He has written the book, How the Mighty Fall. Jim Collins. How the Mighty Fall. Those people who would put their foot on the ground and the earth would shake. Those people who can sit on the 35th floor of Manhattan and can topple a government in Africa. Those people, why did they start biting the dust? Those people, why are they behind bars? Those people, why did they go bankrupt? It's a fine book, How the Mighty Fall. The 350-page book just is one line. Undisciplined pursuit for more. The gist of this book is undisciplined pursuit for more. You need, we all need to be the exact opposite of it. Disciplined pursuit for less. That will never bring you stress. Disciplined pursuit for less is 1,000 times better than undisciplined pursuit for more. The problem is everybody looks at the Tatas and Ambanis. I know I have to look towards Pramukh Swami Maharaj, I have to look towards Shankaracharya. I have to learn from that. Should not aspire to be there. See, if everybody holding the bat can be Sachin, then who would be the audience in the stadiums? What I need to tell is, keep a satisfaction bar in your life. Have a good target, try to work hard, try to achieve it, but definitely design a satisfaction bar in your life. In terms of money, in terms of professional career, and in terms of expansion, growth, work of your company, whatever. I'm talking on the first point, that unethical practices in business. You should have a satisfaction bar where you can reach and remain satisfied in life. Without the design of the satisfaction bar in your life, stress is bound to come. Because traveling or driving your Hyundai on the first day can give you joy, but within minutes it can draw you back from joy if you see a fast-speeding new Merc besides you. That can bring you stress. Somebody's mug just crossing your Hyundai, newly bought, can bring stress to you. If you have not designed your satisfaction bar, you have to. So the first important aspect of life is ethical practice and a satisfaction bar that can relieve you of much of the stress. Second important aspect that can bring stress in the corporate world is less control or no control over your carnal desires. The moment you step into it, you are stepping into an inferno. You are on the dangerous path and which nobody is spared of. The CEO of iGate, give me the name. Fanish Murthy. You know the whole story. The chairman of International Monetary Fund, give me the name. You must know the name, you are in the corporate world. Dominic Strauss-Kahn, designated to become the president of France. The president of International Monetary Fund, such a dignified position. Less control over his carnal desires. An incident happened in the hotel room, you know everything. Today he is no more with the IMF. The French people have thrown him away. Tremendous stress in life. At all the places in the social circle, in your professional field, absolute control on your carnal desires are very much necessary. With your bank account getting fed up, your position rising, you cannot behave like a king in democracy. You cannot. And nobody is above law. You have to control your carnal desire. Increasing number of cases are happening at the corporate places. Am I right or wrong? Yes. And it is going to increase. Day by day. And that brings stress in your lives if you have entered that danger zone. So as professionals, you need to take care of that as well. This guy, Fanish Murthy, he made iGate rise to unbelievable levels. From a few $1 million of annual turnover, it was billions of dollars turnover company. Experiencing tremendous stress at present. Life gone, career finished. People say, what is the exact role of dharma in society? What the great saints have preached, the realities of life are what we are seeing today. Many people when talk to us, they ask us, what is the role of dharma in society? When Pramukh Swami Maharaj was asked, what is the role of dharma in society? He simply said, in his traditional Gujarati, dharma to samaj to pran hai. It is the lifeline of the society. Why I am saying this? These two principal aspects that can bring stress to you in your professional career, in your business life, is well said to us in the religious books. Thousands of years back, Tulsidasji said in the Ramayana, Pardhan patthar maniye, par stri mat saman. Itne se hari na mile, to Tulsidas jaman. Tulsidas had said this. When I talk of Ramayana, when you hear of Ramayana, when I talk of Tulsidas, when you hear of it, yeah, it's all old sayings and Purani baatein hain, those religious books, stupid things. One of IIM graduates, Bangalore, told me that as well. I said, simple, Tulsidas has written this, transgress this and it will show its power. You transgress dharma, that is ethics, and it will show you your power. Tulsidas has said this, Pardhan patthar maniye. If Ramalinga Raju had understood this in Satyam, then no stress in his life. Parstri Mata Saman, if Finesh Murthy had understood this and I get, or Strauss-Kahn, the IMF director had understood this of Tulsidas, then Dharma has a role to play in each and every aspect of life. It has this power. You know, all the researches that has been done in the last 15 years are more than any amount of research is done in more than 150 years before that. Do you agree with me? And I tell you, all the researches that have been done in the last 15 years, they are principal in three fields. First is health, second is management, and third is social relationships. 90% of the research in the last 15 years are done in these three fields. Again I repeat, health, management, and social relationships. You are corporate people, isn't it? In the last 15 years, any damn research in this field you give me and I can put a slok of Srimad Bhagavad Gita against it. Guruji, am I right? Any damn research. You talk of the greatest management gurus of Stephen Covey, of Mandino, and Blanchard, whatever they have researched and told the people, these people, they train Fortune 500 CEOs. What they are talking is nothing outside Srimad Bhagavad Gita. All credits to them for their research, for their surveys. But that is well described in our spiritual scriptures. Well described. That the spiritual scriptures have the power. So Dharma has taught us this fundamental thing. If you transgress this particular small advice of Tulsidasji, you will ruin your life, you will ruin your family life, you will ruin your business life. Right. Pardhan, patthar maniye. Pardhan, patthar maniye. Any wealth, any money which is beyond your hard work, your self-earned, is like stone and mud for you. Stress will never enter your professional life. And second, Parstri Mata Saman. Tulsidas has written the highest achievement after it. Pardhan patthar maniye Parstri Mata Saman. Itne se harina mile to Tulsidas chaman. You will get God. Forget the riches of the world. It can bring tremendous stress. It has brought in the lives of these people. Second important aspect where stress generates and we have to deal with it and there can be a solution to it is understanding the mission of life, living a day-to-day life in a perfect balanced way. Many times we talk, you have 24 hours a day. You should have a balanced day, 8 plus 8 plus 8. First 8 hours is honest, ethical hard work. Second 8 hours is your sleep or rest. And third 8 hours are very important. We normally preach in seminars, third 8 hours is 3H and 3F. 3H is health, hygiene and hobby. 3F is family, friends and faith. If you can well balance your life, well balance your day in this 8 plus 8 plus 8 system. Sorry?
No stress.
No stress, as Guruji said. You will never experience stress. But even if you experience, you will be able to balance it out, you will be able to read it out. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is the system. You want to work 10 hours a day. You want to work 12 hours a day. You want to work 14 hours a day. You want to work 16, 18 hours a day. Do you want to drink all the water of the sea in your field? Any advocate sitting here? Lawyer? No? Any manufacturer? All of you are. Chandrakant Pitama Subhanaj. Huh? He makes castings. For example, all the castings that are made in the city of Vadodara, all the orders come to you then. Actually, you are trying for it, not buying me. If all the work of your field on the entire city of Vadodara comes on your table, then Tell me, if there is a person in this assembly here who would be able to handle it?
No.
Nobody. Again, a satisfaction bar. Recently, the chairman of Hyundai in South Korea, he was interviewed by Times of India and he was asked his daily routine. He said, I go to office at 10 and I leave my office by 3. And he was surprised, the interviewer said, if you sit as executive chairman in the office, in the day-to-day affairs, till 6 p.m., you can increase the sales of Hyundai. He said, I know, but I'm already 60. I have another just 15-20 years left with me. I need to go to gym, I want to swim, I want to play tennis. Once or twice a week I want to watch a movie. I want to go on a half an hour evening stroll with my wife. There are other things important in life as well. So balance of life. See, money can buy you good beds but not sleep. Money can buy you medicines and food but not health. Money can buy you all the ornaments and designed dresses but not beauty and glamour. Can it? It has its limitations. Don't run after money. Honest, ethical, hard work 8 hours, sleep and rest another 8 hours, health, hygiene, hobby, family, friends and faith in the third 8 hours. That can balance your day fine. That can relieve you of stress if any. And has the least possibility of stress getting generated in your life. It's very much necessary. Recently, Ratan Tata was talking at a convocation of a business school. And he told the MBA students very fine thing. He said, don't evaluate your worth and your success by the amount of money that you earn. Evaluate your worth and your success by the amount of service that you can do to the people around you to better their lives. That is your worth. That is your honor. That is your life. So you need to balance the work, balance life. Balance personal life and balance family life. The richest investor upon this earth, Warren Buffett. He has more than $100 billion of investment. Recently the couple finished their 50 years of happy married life and they were interviewed and 50 parties all over the world. His Berkshire Hathaway, 63 companies underneath. All the CEOs had arranged. 50th party in London, attended by more than 7, 8, 10 heads of states. A very dignified gathering. Somebody asked from the audience, what is the secret of your happy married life of 50 years? Important question, isn't it? We brahmacharis and sannyasis know less about it, you know more about it. Warren Buffett, before he could start answering his wife, she pulled over the microphone and said, I would like to answer this. So half of the answer the audience got from the accent. Because they saw no wrinkles on Warren Buffett's face after that. Now listen, attentively. Warren Buffett's wife, she said, there has not been a single day in our 50 years of married life that me, my husband Warren Buffett, our children, thereafter grandchildren, thereafter our great-grandchildren, we have not sat together on the dinner table every evening. Second, she said, there has not been a single day when me and my husband, we have not gone out on an evening stroll after our dinner. Third thing she said, there has not been a single day where me and my husband, we have not tuitioned our children. It must not be affording a tuition teacher, isn't it? You people are affording. You people are affording. So you are having tuition service for your children, for your grandchildren, isn't it? And Warren Buffett could not afford, so he was personal tuition. He knew what is family life. He knew what is transition of family values in the next generation. He knew what is quality time spent with family. And half an hour of quality time spent with your family, this is an 8 plus 8 plus 8 balance, can reduce your 10 hours of work stress. Wow. But the more important is Warren Buffett, his wife said, he switches off his mobile at 6 p.m. and you keep your mobile zone till 11 p.m. Are you expecting a call from the PMO? Are you expecting a membership in the JPC, the Joint Parliamentary Committee? Because you have read all the newspapers and all the magazines on the coal scam, the 2G scam, the telecom and everything. Are you expecting that because lot of information about the scams that you have in your head, someday the PMO might require you in a call at 11:38, you need to be an active citizen of India? If Warren Buffett can shut off his mobile at 6 p.m., can you at 8 p.m.? गुरुजी हाँ बोलने की ताकत डॉक्टर योगेश
8 बजे बंद करेगा
चलो एक बार ट्राई तो करो बंद मत करना वाइब्रेट पे रखना सिर्फ इमरजेंसी कॉल्स अटेंड करना lot of your time energy goes into it which time that is actually meant for yourself and your family. 6 p.m., 7 p.m., latest by 8 p.m. you have to shut off your business mind. So that never stress comes in it from that angle. Spend quality time, leisure time, easy time with your family. You need to balance. Otherwise you will repent. The first Prime Minister Jawaharlal repented when his wife passed away, that I did not find time with her, could not sit with her, could not have meals with her. You don't want to repent, isn't it? But you don't want to repent. Rajesh bhai? Then you need to balance time. If Warren Buffett can, you can. Kumar Mangalam Birla and his wife had interviewed. And his wife, she said, there is a custom in the Birla house that at 8 p.m. everybody has to deposit their mobiles to Aditya Birla's wife, that is Kumar Mangalam's mother. If they can do it, a 5 lakh crore conglomerate, can you? Stop. See, you don't own all the responsibilities of the world. Okay? Land acquisition bill passed in the Lok Sabha, not passed in the Rajya Sabha is not your portfolio. India losing the semi-finals against Australia is again not your portfolio. David Cameron getting re-elected in England as Prime Minister again. Repeat again. Not your way, your is mine. It's not my portfolio. So don't get too much involved with things and happenings that are around the world. ISIS is not going to come here. Chinta mat karo. Don't get involved with everything. All the thing that is reported in the 16 pages of the newspapers every day.
Not true.
You tell it.
Not true.
Perhaps you need only 5, 7, 10 minutes to go through it. Even I go through it. But simple. Things that apply to you only that much. You have 300, 400, 500 WhatsApp things every day. What the hell are you using your 70-year life? This is just a 70 or 80-year game. And if I give you a calculation, it will blow your mind up. 8 hours a day you sleep. Maybe 6.5 hours now, but when you were too young, you were sleeping 10 hours. When you were old, you were sleeping 9, 10 hours. Average will come down to 8 hours. Agree or not? Average will come to 8 hours. Now listen to this statement very carefully. If 8 hours a day you are sleeping, that means 1/3 of the day you are sleeping. That means straight equation, 1/3 of the life you will sleep. So if you live for 70 years upon this earth, 23 years of your life will go in sleep where you don't know whether you exist or not. As CEO, as MD, as chairman, as FGI secretary, FGI president. Nothing. Whether, thank you. So you don't know whether you exist or not. So you need to plan out 8 plus 8 plus 8 system that can only give you happiness in life, that can give you a stress-free situation, which is very much necessary to plan out your day, ultimately to plan out your life. Unflinching love for God, unflinching devotion towards God can bring you out of stress within seconds. It has the power. It has this power. It can bring you out of stress within minutes. The Namaskar, experience it. The prayers, experience it. Visit to a temple, experience it. That faith. In 2001, there was a heavy earthquake in Bhuj. On 26 January at 8:45 in the morning, we were there by 12 noon. With the commands of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, we had started the fresh food, fresh meals preparations. 17,000 people took their meals, lunch on that day in the mandir at our temple in Bhuj. Pramukh Swami asked us to continue with it. Every day, 45,000 used to have their meals. The Israeli team, disaster management team, they had come with their mobile ICU at the Shastri Maidan in Bhuj. They were roaming around to different relief camps. They came to us. Mr. Sholem, who was the head of the team, he said one fine thing. He said, I find out a difference. We have worked at more than about 5-7 places in the last 10 years when it comes to disaster management. People here in India, in this particular part of the country, I could not see or feel stress and tension on their faces. Definitely some sadness because they have lost their near and dear ones, but not that level of stress or tension that I would normally find on the faces of people in the Western countries after such a disaster. And he said, I've come to notice, I've asked a few people and they are saying, Jevi Bhagwan ni ichha. This is a big thing in life, I tell you. See, big thing in life. Because for success, any motivation, any inspiration, any success mantras is only 10-15% role in your life. 70 to 80% of the factors that affect the final process and the product are not in your control. You have to believe in Him. Bhagwan ni ichha. The doership of God. What is faith in God? Is accepting His all doership. Is accepting His all doership. If your son graduates from Harvard at the age of 22 with an MBA degree, it is God's wish. And after 1 year, the same son, he dies in a road accident, it is God's wish. Bhagwan ni ichha, Bhagwan ki ichha. Only then you will be relieved of stress. Otherwise, that one point can tingling in your mind lifetime. People of Bhuj had this faith. Mr. Sholem could recognize this. He could experience this. When Pramukh Swami Maharaj was called from London, and he said, Swamiji, the land on which we wanted to build a temple, and a court case was going on, because of the signature campaign of the neighborhoods, we have lost the case and we would not be able to build the temple there in London. It was 1:30 p.m. Pramukh Swami received the call from London. He was here in Vadodara. And he said just one line. જેવી ભગવાનની ઈચ્છા આપણે આપણો પુરુષાર્થ કરેલો કદાચ ભગવાનને બીજે બેસવું હશે તો બીજે બેસશે. Put down the receiver. He went for his nap and within the second minute he was snoring. You have to believe this. Thomas Alva Edison's factory was gutted in fire. 9,000 experiment papers gone into fire. Somebody gave him the news. He went to the rubber and said his little son, go and call your mom. And when his wife saw this, she was almost fainted. Edison caught hold of her head and said, see, I thank God. All my mistakes have burned up. So if you build a fine house, it is God's wish and the house gets burned. Thomas Alva Edison, thank God, it's God's wish. Only then you enjoy. To enjoy is your right.
Yes.
To be in a happy mood is your birthright. Under any circumstances, any situations. That is human living. Otherwise it is animal living. If you can't remain happy 24 by 7 by 365 by 80. Got it? You're 24/7 sharp? We, from the spiritual point of view, talk on human life, then we say it's 24 by 7 by 365 by 80. 24 hours, 7 days, round the year, 80 years of your life. It is your birthright. And you can have it. Only it comes by unflinching devotion and faith in God. The villagers, last example and I end. The villagers, they decided to insult Tukaram because he was de-addicting the youths in the village. So what they did, asked Tukaram to sit on the donkey in the reverse position. He needed to catch the tail of the donkey in his hand. He was worn a gallon of brinjals, his head totally shaved and clay put on it. And he was paraded through the town. And children would throw stones and mud as they were taught on Tukaram. A tremendous insult, isn't it? When he came back after the whole round to his hut, his wife, she decided to commit suicide. That I cannot stand the insult of my husband in our own village to this extent. Tukaram, he came off the donkey, caught hold of his wife's hand and they went inside the hut, inside their home. And he relaxed his wife and said, just sit down calmly. And his wife was like, we would leave this village and I don't want to stay here and I feel like committing suicide. Tukaram said, nothing doing. What wrong has happened? Nothing wrong. When we got married about 12-15 years back, we did not have the money to have a procession. Today these people did. इसमें stress का जन्म होने की शक्यता ही कहाँ है? No possibility of stress. That came from his unflinching attachment to God. Second thing he said, since last 6 months, I could not cut my hair because we didn't have money. They got it cut. And more than that, they put clay on it, so no problems of dandruff. Simple positivity. And third, this garland of brinjals. We'll have vegetables cooked for 1 week. Fine. Start cooking. Let's enjoy the meal. Start cooking. Let's enjoy the meal. Nothing wrong has happened. Does any stress has the power to penetrate Tukaram's mind? China wall of defense. Why? Unflinching faith in God. Whatever happens in my life happens with the wish of God. We should try to come out of it. We should work hard. Apply all our talents, intelligence, resources to it. No doubt. But with that understanding, when Arjuna was in deep stress on the battle of Kurukshetra, what did Lord Krishna do? As the modern people say, how to distress yourself, go green and go on a beach and have a ride and go with a bicycle and do this and do that and deep breathing, all this thing. It has just a 5% effect. Did Krishna take the chariot of Arjuna to a beach? There was no beach near. Did he ask Arjuna to start deep breathing? That was told, I saw in the video, deep breathing and everything. It can be helpful, just 2-5%. What did Krishna tell Arjuna to distress him because he was in tremendous pressure? He put aside his arms. I cannot fight my elders and my relatives. What did he say, Krishna? Krishna first said, Tarati Shokaham Atmavid. The one who believes I am not this physical body, this is just the 70th game. I am a soul, I am not this physical body. And lakhs of births I have gone through. Another lakhs of births I will go through. Today I am a manager. In the next birth I can be a peon in the same company. With this understanding, if you are the soul, not this body, first basic understanding. Second is saying, Nimitta Matram. Karmanne vadikaraste ma pareshwara lachane. Your job is to perform the duty perfectly, ethically 8 hours. The results, I will decide. God says. Even after your 16 hours of labor a day, God decides the result because many factors, your past deeds, many things applies to it. And the third thing Krishna said, Man mana bhava. Keep your mind engrossed in me. I am the ultimate thing. When Arjuna did this three, he was relieved of all the stress, picked up his arms and fought Kurukshetra. So God plays a very important role. So, first is never go for unethical practices. Second is tremendous control on your carnal desires. Third thing, a fine balance of work and life. And fourth thing, unflinching attachment and love towards God. These four factors, if well kept, can always live a life stress-free. My prayers at the feet of Bhagavan Swaminarayan and my Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj for all this to get imbibed in all our lives. Thank you very much.